Hi, in today's lecture, I will be focusing on the following three topics. Firstly, there will be a discussion on the digital codes, and then I will be focusing on principles of digital transmission, and in the last, there will be a discussion on the transmission efficiency. So, this is the first topic, which is the introduction to digital data transmission. As we all know that with the increase in the number of applications which are using the digital data increased with the passage of time, and so that it is the need of hour to have efficient methods of transmission of data, conversion and reception of that data. We all know that computers understand, process and store the digital data, and before the advent of the computer, the digital codes were already present. The early digital codes were based on Morse code structure, which consists of dots and dashes, and these Morse codes basically used to represent the alphabets, the numbers, and the punctuation marks, all in the form of dots and dashes. And these Morse codes were of variable lengths, and after those codes there were some other codes which came uh, uh, into the picture of the world, and those were Baudot code, and these were used for the same applications as Morse codes were used for telegraph applications, and they represent each and every alphabet, number, punctuation mark with a 5-bit representation. The modern binary codes consist of numbers, letters, which are encoded and then represented in an 8-bit number, and that 8-bit number is stored on the computer memory and for use for the later purposes. We have a ASCII standard of codes uh, in the modern binary code, and these were American Standard Code for Information and Interchange, which used to represent about 128 numbers, letters, punctuation marks and other symbols. They have uh, 2 or 3 level letter designations, and they can also represent upper and lower case letters, and they were very popular and widely used nowadays. Modern binary numbers also have a hexadecimal variety, where instead of representing a binary code in the decimal values, we can also represent it in the hexadecimal values, which are normally understood by the computer and a shortcut way of representing the decimal numbers, and they can also be converted into decimal, and from decimal they can also be converted into hexadecimal values. Then we have another category of modern binary codes, which were extended binary code decimal interchange code, and these were developed by the IBM, which is a company for computer manufacturing, and their systems use these kind of codes, which are 8-bit representation of about 256 characters. They are not quite as much popular as ASCII characters, but they are primarily used for IBM based computing systems. Now we have to focus on different categories of transmission, which are parallel and serial transmission. And in parallel transmission, the bits are communicated from transmitter to the receiver simultaneously, all the bits. Like if we have 3-bit number, and we have 101, then these all 3 bits are communicated simultaneously by making a connection between a transmitter and the receiver, and we have separate connections to communicate all these 3 bits. While this is called a parallel transfer, but we have also another kind of transfer which is called serial transfer, in which the bits are communicated one by one, one after the other. The least significant bit on the right hand side is communicated first, and the most significant bit on the left hand side is sent afterwards. If we focus more about parallel transfer, then we see that it is extremely fast, and it transfers the data very quickly, because it is sending all the bits simultaneously. But it is impractical for long distance communication and is used for small distance communication for limited applications. Why it is impractical for long distance communication is that we have to have a wire to communicate each bit. If we have to send 10 bits at a time, then we have to have 10 wires, and those 10 wires can cost us 10 times more than if we send the same data in a serial manner, through serial transfer. And the second disadvantage of parallel transfer is the attenuation which is occurring upon each wire, and it will be difficult for us to recognize the signal, and we are do not able to know that how much error is happening in each bit, either it is correct or not. So in that way it was impractical approach. This is a diagrammatic representation of a parallel transmission between two systems. You can see over here on the left hand side we have an 8-bit register which is made of about 8 flip-flops, and we have the least significant bit at the bottom, the most significant bit on the top, and we are sending it from one 8-bit register to other 8-bit register through a wire which is sending each bit with a separate dedicated wire, and we have an 8-wire cable. So it will be costing us too much, and it will be attenuating signal attenuation can happen over here, and which will add to our complexities. So now we will be focusing on serial transfer, which is to send the bits one after the other in a serial manner, in which the least significant bit is being sent firstly, and then the most significant bit is sent afterwards in the last, and we have fixed time slots between each bit. Here you can see the diagrammatic demonstration of a serial transmission. You can see that this is 0 level and this is 1 level, and this least significant bit is being sent early, and afterwards we have other bits which are coming, and in the last we have sent the most significant bit, and we have some standard and even time intervals for each bit duration. So there are some terminologies which are used to express the serial transmission data rate, and the first one is the bit rate, which is the number of bits which are being communicated per second, and we have also another terminology which is the baud rate, which is the number of signaling elements which are transferred in 1 second. Like we have a symbol which can represent 1 bit, or we can have a symbol of a waveform which is representing 2 bits or 3 bits, and the symbol can be a square wave, can be a triangular wave, can be a kind of ramp wave, and that is the signaling element. So the number of signaling elements of the waveforms which are happening in 1 second is called the baud rate, and that is the difference between the baud rate and the bit rate. Now we have to discuss another transmission category, which is the asynchronous transmission, and whenever some transmitter send to the receiver the data in the form of asynchronous manner, then it is sending a start and stop bits, start bit before sending the data and stop bit after sending the data. So when no information is transmitted, then there will be a binary 1 bit which will be communicated, which is referred to as mark, and when we have to send some start bit command, then we have to send the 0 bit, which can also be said as space. So in asynchronous transmission, whenever we are sending any information, we are sending start and stop bits with the information, and You can see over here that in digital transmission, where we have data rates which are quite low, like from 1200 to 56,000 bits per second range, then we can use this asynchronous transmission technique over there, which is very reliable. And its primary disadvantage is that we are sending other than the data bits, the information bits, and which might slow after our data transmission rate. So this is a demonstration of the asynchronous transmission. Here you can see we have 0, which is space, and we have mark, which is 1. You can see that once we have to send the data, we have to send before it the 0 bit, which is the start bit, and then we send the 7-bit ASCII code, and then when we have to stop our data sending, then we can send a stop bit, which is the mark bit over here. You can see which is the stop bit. Another category of transmission is the synchronous transmission, which is sending the information without the start and the stop bits. And over here, we can also maintain the synchronization between the transmitter and the receiver by sending synchronization bits, which are at the start of the information as well as at the end of the information. But these synchronization bits are not as much large percentage as compared in asynchronous transmission, where in every 7-bit ASCII code or 8-bit ASCII code we have a start and the finishing bit. But over here we can send many bits, which can be hundreds and thousands of information bits in between, and before the start of that we can send the synchronization bits, and at the end also the synchronization bit is added over there, and that the information of about 100 bits or 1000 bits can be referred to as block of information. So we have used this special synchronization codes, which are very small percentage of the total number of bits, and therefore it is much more faster than the asynchronous transmission, which has an overhead which is of greater percentage compared to synchronous transmission, where we have less overhead. Here you can see a diagrammatic demonstration of a synchronous transmission. You can see we have sent some synchronous bits in the start, and we can have some block of information, which can be hundreds and thousands of blocks of information. And if in some scenario, if the information is broken in between, the link is broken, then we can have a kind of bits which can be a kind of telling us that the connection is lost and there is some error happening, and this is the facility which is available in the synchronous transmission. So if we have digital data, and then we transform that digital data into digital signals, uh, uh, so we have to convert those signals into a way which is suitable for the medium. So if a medium is to be communicating some baseband or broadband digital signals, the signals have to be encoded in a way which is compatible to the medium, and we have many kind of digital encoding methods, but the most popular are mentioned over here, which is the non return to zero, which is expressing uh, uh, you can see over here, if we have 1 bit which is communicated, then it is the mark level, and 0 bit communicated over there, it is a space level, and the overall bit duration is being kept to that level. And then we have the return to zero, where the bit duration, half of the bit duration of 1, you can see that it will be at the 1 level, and half of the bit duration it will be at the 0 level. While over here you can see